Hey guys, it's Mark Andrews and welcome to episode 7 of OCFOA Plays of the Week. As you can tell, my voice is slightly recovered. I recorded these clips over the last week, so you're going to hear varying levels of cracking in my voice. I apologize up front. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. We're going to see some great examples of different types of low blocks. We're going to discuss dead ball personal fouls, scrimmage kick formations, and a really interesting blindside block at the end there. So stay tuned for that. As always, all the commentary and interpretations have been improved by Chad Wilson, and a lot of the clips that you're going to see were submitted by Steve Cooper. So let's get going. We've talked a lot in the past few weeks about low blocks, and I want you to take a look at this one. Watch the player highlighted. He's going to be blocked. Okay, let's go back. Let's watch it in slow motion. Now the blocker on his right takes him low, and what do we have up above? We have contact high. This is chop block. That's Steve Cooper's comment. And this has always been illegal, and we want to get this every time. Okay, continuing with our theme regarding blocks below the waist. This is a block below the waist committed by the defense. Let's just take a look at this play. Now, notice the ball carrier is behind the lead blocker, it's probably number 13 there. We've got defender coming, and oftentimes what the defender will do is take out that lead blocker to open up the possibility of tackling the running back by another defender. So let's watch what happens here. Now that clearly is a block below the waist. That's a foul, and you can see that it happens right in front of the umpire and the back judge. It looks to me like both of them are ball watching. They're not watching that lead block. We can't see the flank official, but he should be on the goal line. He should see this as well. And we don't call this. We just miss it. It's a legal block in college and pros. We see it all the time on television, and I think we just forget that in high school this block is illegal. Okay, one more play discussing blocks below the waist. Remember, blocks below the waist are illegal, and there's one exception, and that's in the free blocking zone. And what are the requirements for blocks within the free blocking zone? The ball has to be in the zone. The players involved in the blocks have to be in the zone. And so we have a special criteria for blocks in the free blocking zone when the quarterback is in shotgun or pistol. He is not under the center. Therefore, the ball leaves the zone very quickly, and those criteria are that the blockers have to be in a 3 or 4 point stance. The player being blocked has to be within the frame of the shoulders of the blocker at the snap, and the block has to be immediate. Okay, so there's 3 very strict criteria for a block below the waist in this formation. So we're going to see a block below the waist by the right tackle there. And who has this action? Well, the answer is there's really 3 people. The primary is the head linesman, secondary would be the umpire, and potentially the referee could get it if he saw it. The referee's focus is on the left side of the line because he is on the right-hand side of the quarterback. The umpire, knowing this, has to shift his focus to the guards, center, and potentially tackle action on the right side of the offensive line. And of course, the flank official on that side has the tackle. So let's take a look at this play. Right there we see the low block below the waist, I should say. That's a foul. Okay. Let's take a look at it from another angle. This is the end zone view. You'll see it much better from here. Okay, there's the players involved. The referee put this comment in. Who can see this? He's got the umpires where he should be looking. The referee is looking over here, and of course we have the head linesman looking right here. Okay, so let's take a look at this block. Now you can see that the defensive player is not within the frame of the offensive blocker. He has to be within his shoulders, here to here. Okay, he's not. So if he blocks low, this is a illegal block. Now, he doesn't block immediately. Watch. He stands up, then he shoots down. Again, it's definitely illegal. So here's another play that is a potential chop block. I'm going to run this in slow motion. This was sent in by Steve Coover, and I'm going to run it first without Steve's comments. Just take a watch the player that's highlighted here, number B78, and watch the actions of the right guard and right tackle. Okay, we definitely have a low block by A54 there, but had there only been that contact, this would be legal because it's within the free blocking zone. We have all the components for a legal low block below the waist in the free blocking zone here. So let's go back, and I'll include Steve's comments now. So he just, first thing he says is this a chop block? Now note that there is minimal contact by the right guard, but even though it's passing, as Steve points out, a passing engagement, the net effect is he's exposed to the cut. So this is a chop block. Let's take a look at it one more time. Keep in mind the contact that Steve talked about. Sorry about that. Here we go. There's the engagement right there by the right guard. It's minimal, but it's there. Now we have the hit by the right tackle. That's a chop block. So this play is just it's an example of the things that can happen when you least expect it. This is a nothing play. This is a 2 or 3 yard gain up the middle. Big scrum. The guy's fighting for yardage. And watch the two players that are highlighted here, B11 and A77. Watch B11 in particular, what he does. Now 77's involved in the tackle. He goes down. Watch 11. Just shoots his leg. I mean, this is a flagrant foul. His intent has to be to injure this player. There's no other reason for him to do what he does. And watch, he accomplishes it. Look at the pain that 77 is in. So how do we keep from missing this? I'd like to introduce a philosophy that Don Ariosto mentioned to me, and that is we stay vigilant until colors separate. And I think that's a great mnemonic for all of us to keep in the back of our heads, that colors need to separate before we move on to the next play. I am not blaming any of these crew members. This could have happened to any of us, but let's stay vigilant for this kind of action. So let's take a look at another missed dead ball personal foul. So we've got a short pass to the left side of the formation. The play is over right there. We're at the 37-yard line. Now look at the player that's at the 50. Okay. Watch his actions. We're not going to see the actual contact, but you can see him going in to contact this player. Now, nobody sees this. Well, one person sees it, and that's our coach. And he is telling our head linesman that we missed it. Let's take a look and see why we missed it. Okay, so let's watch this again and try to figure out how we can keep this from happening. Let's just take a look at the play. Watch number 60 flatten number 23. Okay. So where are the eyes in the field? Okay, we've got the flank closest to the play. He's spotting progress. The umpire is looking at blocking around the end of the play. The referee is likely looking at the quarterback or following this play. So we've got 2 officials left that could possibly get that. That's the back judge and the crossfield flank. Okay, the crossfield flank is probably spotting this, but he can have his head up looking for this action. And the back judge really is our best defense against this kind of stuff. But look where he's looking. He is looking at the ball. And that's the last thing we need. We do not need back judges looking at the end of the play. We need you guys to develop a big picture. And I am not singling out this official at all. There's not a single one of us in this association who hasn't had this happen to them. So, just appreciate the fact that the crew chief shared this with us. I'm not overly critical of this official. This is late in the game. Look, it's play 144. These guys are probably tired. But watch what happens. Boom. And for whatever reason, now he's looking off to the left and probably doesn't realize anything happened until number 23 gets up and says, hey, how can you let him do that to me? So how do we keep this from happening? We remember to keep big picture looks when we're not directly involved in the spot, and we stay vigilant until colors separate. So now let's discuss something that we really haven't talked about yet this season, and that is unsporting conduct. Take a look at this play. Steve points out we've got to continue to be observant of players drawing attention to themselves or taunting opponents. That is unsportsmanlike conduct. Watch the receiver here. Okay, that is drawing attention to himself. I'm not sure what that particular pose is, but this should be 15 yards either on the try or on the kickoff. So this particular play is from a game that my crew did last week. It was Mater Dei and Orange Lutheran. And take a look at the play number. This is play number 28. We had already had 4 or 5 dead ball personal fouls called at this point in the game. And right after this play, we had multiple unsportsmanlike conducts called, like play 33 or 34. So this was a very difficult game to manage. Both these teams were going at each other for whatever reason. Take a look at this play. There's going to be a short out to the wide receiver. Okay, so now as the receivers go into the sideline, you're going to see B21 try to strip the ball from the Mater Dei receiver. He does not succeed, and watch what he does here, right here. Swipes at him. Now, he doesn't make contact. Now, we have 2 officials here, and I think they are both concentrating on the spot. The line judge is going to throw a flag, but watch what happens next. Boom. A taunt by Mater Dei 8 there. And we don't get it. We got the swipe. You can see the line judge is going to throw the flag. Great job there. Got the spot correct, but we missed the taunt. So this next play comes from Steve Coover, and this one is not a safety issue or anything like that. This is more of an unusual type of play, an unusual formation. So what do we have here? We have a scrimmage kick formation. And why is that important? Well, before we discuss that, let's talk about what a scrimmage kick formation is. Let's go to the rule book. It's in Rule 2. And we'll see that a scrimmage kick formation is one in which no player is in position to receive a hand-to-hand snap from between the snapper's legs. So that means the quarterback's not under center. And at the snap, either A, a player is in position with a knee on the ground 7 yards or more behind the line of scrimmage, so that would be the holder for either a field goal attempt or a try, with another player 3 yards or less behind that player in position to attempt a place kick, or a player is 10 yards or more behind the line of scrimmage and is in position to receive the long snap. And of course that describes a scrimmage kick formation in which we're anticipating a punt. Why do we care if a team is in scrimmage kick formation? It's because there are specific rules and exceptions that apply to this formation. So let's take a look at Rule 725B. That rule says that at the snap, at least 5 A players on their line of scrimmage must be numbered 50 to 79. Now, there are 2 exceptions to that rule. We're going to talk about the second one. On 4th down or during a kick try, when A sets or shifts into a scrimmage kick formation, any A player numbered 1 to 49 or 80 to 99 may take the position of any A player numbered to 50 to 79. So if we're in a scrimmage kick formation, the requirement for 5 linemen to be on the line of scrimmage numbered 50 to 79 is no longer true. The second rule that applies in this situation is the roughing the snapper, the prohibition against roughing the snapper. Now, normally there is no prohibition against roughing the center or the snapper, but when the team is in scrimmage kick formation, a defensive player shall not charge directly into the snapper when the offensive team is in a scrimmage kick formation. If they do so, it is roughing the snapper. So again, as long as they're in a scrimmage kick formation, the center enjoys special protection. So let's take a look at this play and see what happens here. Now we're going to see them shift. And this looks very similar to a swinging gate. But it is still a scrimmage kick formation. And why? Because we still have a holder in place 7 yards behind the center. Kicker is still in his place. So this, while we don't know what's going to happen next, this is still a scrimmage kick formation. Therefore, all of the linemen that are on the line, they do not have to meet that numbering requirement of 5 having numbers 50 through 79. Now we're going to see the kicker go in motion. Now we no longer have a scrimmage kick formation. So now we have to have 5 linemen on the line of scrimmage numbered 50 to 79, and the center no longer enjoys special protection. There is one other rule that is accepted when we have a scrimmage kick formation, and that is actually the rule that defines when a runner is down. Rule 4-2-2. The ball becomes dead and the down is ended when a runner goes out of bounds, is held so his forward progress is stopped, or allows any part of his person other than hand or foot to touch the ground. Generally, we have a knee down. So we have an exception. A place kick holder with his knee on the ground and with a teammate in kicking position catches or recovers the snap while his knee is on the ground and places the ball for a kick. So we all know that a holder can have his knee on the ground and play continues. As Steve points out, if the holder were to receive the snap in this position, he would be down and play would be stopped. And as Steve points out, all the conditions were met. Try is good, and the crowd goes crazy. Guys, I decided to use this play for several reasons. One was to just bring up the concept of the numbering exception for the newer guys, but also to remind everybody on tries not to relax and assume that the numbering exception applies. A lot of teams come out in a swing gate formation, and most of the time they shift back into a scrimmage kick formation, but not always. And a lot of times they're looking for a weakness in the defense, and they may snap the ball directly to the quarterback. If that happens, remember, they have to have 5 men on the line of scrimmage numbered 50 through 79. So let's end this one with an oh my God moment. Check this out. Steve says, note the size of this guy. He's obviously huge. Okay, he's going to rush the kicker. Nah, maybe not. Okay, what do we got, fellas? Busted play. What do we look out for, fellas? Blindside blocks, and this might be the king of all blindside blocks. Watch this. Oh my God. It's a Mack truck with license number 77. Okay. You see Steve's comment. Disqualification should be considered. It's a target. Possible disqualification. That is. Whew, let's watch that one more time. In real time. Oh. Messed up. All right, guys. That's it for now.